when you're ready, start to follow the breath in and out of the body, especially breathing down to the belly. There's a reason why we do this, because we need to get out of our heads. Most of us spend an inordinate amount of time thinking, and this is not a thinking process. This is a feeling process, a feeling into now, a feeling into a different set of rules for reality. So breathe in and out through the belly. Allow yourself to be present in your belly. Allow yourself to be present in your body. And this is a beautiful, beautiful body that we have. It's mobile. It gets us around. It does amazing things. We have opposable thumbs. All the animals are jealous. It's pretty incredible that we are able to breathe, see, and hear. So just breathe into that. Breathe into the body. And even though the body does get sick sometimes, it's also your greatest friend, it's your greatest ally, because it moves your consciousness from one place to another. Think about how many times you've intended to do something, intended to move, walk, talk, and you were able to do it on command. So really engage with that body with a feeling of appreciation for it. Breathing in through the belly, and then start to be aware of your relationship to the earth. And I don't know how many layers of separation there are between you and the actual ground. I know that I have one layer of floor and then there's dirt beneath me. You might be in a different situation. Just consider what it would be like to send your grounding cord and your belly down into the earth. What would it be like if you could send that cord right out of the base of your spine down into the earth, reaching for the center of the earth so that it could weave in its fibers into the center of the earth. Feel what it's like to be connected, and then drop your belly down into the earth as well. See if you can connect in with the belly of Mother Earth. She's already holding you. She's already sustaining you. See if you can connect in a little deeper with her by dropping your belly into hers. Continue to breathe in and out through that belly. And when you're ready, start to notice your appreciation, the appreciative energy that you have for Mother Earth, this great being on whose back we ride. And she sustains everything, our bodies with all of the waters and the food that she produces for us. She sustains us with the cycles of the seasons. She sustains us with the perfect atmosphere that we can breathe oxygen and not be incinerated by the heat of the sun. And also, she helps us with the atmosphere that helps us to not be fried by gamma rays coming from space. So many things that go into making the perfect environment so that we can have this experience, so that our souls can drop into this form, this human form that we have, and have a human experience. And so just think about how complex all of these things are. The fact that we have this perfect atmosphere is a 1 in a 100 trillion chance that we would have just the right conditions for life here on this planet. And so let your appreciation from your heart be sent down to Mother Earth. Let her feel the gratitude that you have for having this experience. And yeah, this experience is really hard sometimes, and it is also exquisitely beautiful. And so let that appreciation go down to Mother Earth, and when you're ready, make a place, a receptive place in your heart center for you to receive the love of Mother Earth for you as her child. And she has a lot of children, and everyone is just as important as everyone else. And she loves us all. And so allow yourself to send and receive love. And then you notice that there's this cycle, this wheel turning of love, sending and receiving love to and from the heart center. And you feel yourself getting a little bit more buoyant, a little bit more beautiful, a little bit more radiant, because you're connected in with this beautiful loving energy, this creative force. So just be present with it and enjoy it. And when you're ready, I want you to bring your focus of attention into the center of your head. And start to breathe in and out through the center of the head. This is the space between the ears and between the eyes. This is the location of the pineal gland. And this is the controlling function of melatonin release for sleep, of circadian rhythm. But it's also the meeting place where your soul meets your brain. So as you bring your awareness into that center point, breathing in and out through it, start to send branches up out the top of your head. And let them reach high, high into the sky, out into the cosmos, reaching out toward the stars. Branches moving in every direction. And keep breathing, reaching outward, and seeing all the leaves and the ends of all the branches at the ends of all the twigs as stars in the sky. And start to breathe outward and inward through those branches. You're reaching into the fabric of creation, the tapestry of our lives, the tapestry that holds all of the memories of every experience that every being has ever had on this planet. You might call this the morphogenic field. You might call this the Akashic records. You might call this heaven. Connect into that tapestry, and beautiful tapestry woven of all of creation, and start to realize that you are woven into that creation. You have a story. You are part of this tapestry. And it is such a complex fabric that stretches back millions of years. And yet you are such an important part of it, because there's no one just like you. And as you connect in with that tapestry, as you weave yourself in and through it, send your love out into the universe. Let the universe know that you are here. Send that love from your heart center up and out through the pineal gland and through those branches out into the cosmos, out into the tapestry, that woven story of creation that exists all in, around, and through us. And when you're ready, allow that consciousness to speak back to you, making a receptive place within the center of the head so that you can receive that love that went into your creation. be open to receiving and sending that love, and you see the cyclic response. It's like this wheel of love that's moving upward and outward and downward and inward to your heart center. And when you're ready, bring your attention into the heart center itself and begin to breathe in and out through that heart center. And now, this is the funnest part. Send and receive love to Mother Earth, and send and receive love to Father Sky, the consciousness that runs through all of creation simultaneously. So you are bringing your attention from one point of focus to 2 points of focus, downward and back upward into the heart center, and then upward and back into the heart center from above. Keep breathing and connecting in with both simultaneously. Allow yourself to be greater than a single point of focus. Allow yourself to multitask on a higher spiritual level. Because you are these things. You've always been these things. You are the perfect marriage of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So embody this now. Be it now. Breathe it into the heart center in perfect balance with perfect centeredness. Now from this place, you are your body-mind. You are everything that you eat and drink, and every part of the digestive system and the neural network that exists there. You are the heart center and all of the neurons that exist in that heart center, and you are the brain and all of the neurons that exist in that brain, but you are actually none of those things at the same time. So I want you to keep this in mind, because what you are is an infinite being having a physical experience, and that physical experience has a reality. It has a history, it has an experience, and it has conditioning. And in order to change any of those things, it is necessary to disengage from them. And it doesn't mean that we can't move in and out and through them whenever we choose to. But what I'm going to invite you to do now is to start to look back in time at your history. And there are certain things that I'm going to invite you to unplug from. They're going to be specific to you. I'm just going to give generalizations. But what I'm going to invite you to do is not disconnect from your love for any people. What I'm going to invite you to do is to unplug your consciousness from whatever your story is keeping alive that may not be serving you. I want to give you the opportunity to be someone different. And in order to do so, it is important to unplug from everything so that you can see what you are without those things. This is a way to assemble reality, to create a new reality. And so what I'm going to invite you to do is to unplug from your parents first. Just imagine that there's a plug, like plugging in an electrical device. And I'm going to invite you to unplug from your mother and unplug from your father. Like I said, we're not disconnecting from them, and we're not leaving them behind in any way. We're just pulling the plug out. Just like you would unplug a hairdryer. You can always plug it back in, but maybe you want to go on vacation with it. You have to unplug it. That's what we're doing right now. It's like we're going on vacation. So unplug from your parents. Just pull the plug out. And then I'm going to invite you to also unplug from your grandparents on both sides. Just pull the plug. Whatever that story might look like that you have been keeping alive about who they are, about what they've done, about who they've been, about what they did for you or did to you. We're just going to unplug from all those stories to see what it's like to be disengaged from our stories. Now there might be some ex-lovers. Allow yourself to just unplug from those stories. Whatever it was, did they hurt you? Did they love you? It doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's just seeing who we are in our autonomous being, in our sovereignty. We want to experience that. So unplug from those people. Pull your plug back. And then, are there any jobs that you've had? Any jobs, especially those that may have defined you at some point? Any jobs that you got fired from? Any jobs, especially that you had a bitter experience? Just unplug from them. Pull the plug out. Pull it back to yourself. See if you notice what the body feels like as you do this. See if you notice what the mind feels like as you do this, as you disengage. And what about friends? Good friends, bad friends, friends that betrayed you, friends that love you endlessly. I'm even going to invite you to unplug from them. It's not that they don't matter. It's not that you don't love them, and it's not that we're not going to plug back into them again. We just want to see, what is it like without them? What is it like when you're just a solo being with just yourself, without any of those old stories? What is it like? We just want to know. So just take your time with this one, because this one could take a long time. So take your time. Just whoever comes to mind. Doesn't have to be that thorough. Just whoever comes to mind. Whatever arises for you, because we're connected to our higher selves, it's just perfect. Now, I'm going to invite you to connect from any children you might have. And that includes animals, living or deceased. Just unplug. Unplug from the memories. Pull your plug back. Just let it go. Now, are there any really difficult situations that are going on right now in your life? Anything that you feel needs to be resolved that you haven't quite resolved yet? Anything that feels complicated? Anything that's taking your energy? Just unplug from it right now. Maybe it's a business you're running. Maybe it's a business you'd like to run. Maybe it's a business that you're thinking about running. Just unplug from it. Just give yourself this moment without it, to see what you're like without the story. I'm even going to unplug from you guys right now. And now lastly, this might be the biggest one. Are there any hurtful memories that you would like to unplug from? And it could be things that happened all the way back to when you can first remember, 2, 3, 4 years old. Just unplug. Pull the plug on it. And imagine that as you do this, that all of the images of all those things that you're unplugging from are melting away. Getting slower, just like a candle that's melting, just getting slower and melting away. And just let yourself experience what it's like to let those things melt away. See if you can allow your body now to relax a little bit more without those stories. And I call them stories not to be offensive. Some of these things are actually really important. I call them stories because we only have our perception of the event. We can never really be inside someone else's mind and see things through their eyes. We can only see them through our own eyes. They're stories because we don't have the full picture. We never have the full picture. We only have our point of view. That's why I call it a story. Nothing that ever happened to you or for you happened only with you. It happened with some other level of consciousness, whether that was a human being, whether it was a plant, whether it was an animal, whether it was a mountain, whether it was the ocean. It happened with some other point of perspective or consciousness. And so it has its story about what happened as well, which will be slightly different than your story, because no two stories could ever be alike, because no two people could ever be exactly alike. Every being, even though we are of the same species, no two beings are alike. Everything has uniqueness. Everything that exists has value, and everything is unique. And so now, I want you to just take a moment to be in now. What is it like to be in now with all these plugs dangling around you? Not connected to anything. You're not pulling energy from anything, because none of these plugs are plugged in. This means that you are still alive, still aware, but you're not sourcing your energy from any of these stories. Not one of them is feeding you right now. So what is feeding you? So take a moment and just notice what is happening in your life right now. What has happened within the last week or in the last month? What is projected out to the next week or the next month? What is happening in your life right now that is not going exactly how you would like it? What is it that you would like to change? Take a moment and imagine yourself moving into the future with a different reality. What would that reality be like? Would you be living somewhere different? Would you be living with someone different? Would you look different? Would you be doing something different for your career? Would you be doing something different with your friends? Would you be following a dream that you've had but have never put the effort or energy into it because you weren't sure if you could accomplish it, whether it was safe to give up your comfort that you have right now and trade it for uncertainty? Just check in with that. What is happening in your life right now? And just let it be present. Let it tell you what it needs to tell you. Is there anybody that you admire? A hero, somebody that you would like to emulate, somebody who has the qualities that you would like to embody yourself. Consider who that person might be and what makes them who they are. What is it that you admire about them? What quality stands out that you feel like, if I had that quality, I would feel more comfortable with myself. I would feel more who I am supposed to be. Who is it that you want to become? Where do you resonate? What do you dream about? Now, when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to imagine the night sky. You might see the Milky Way. You might see the Southern Cross. You might see Polaris, or the Big Dipper, or the Small Dipper. Let something in the night sky captivate you. It could be a planet, but I would recommend setting your sights a little higher, to a star or an entire star cluster. It might be Lyra or the Pleiades. It might be Orion. It might just be a star like Betelgeuse or Sirius, Aldebaran, Regulus. Find that one single point or that cluster of stars that speaks to you, that is sparkling and twinkling, and let your gaze set upon it. What is the color that it's radiating? Sometimes it's just clear white. Sometimes it's yellowish. Sometimes it's reddish, and sometimes it's bluish. Just notice. Let your focus settle upon that star. And imagine that you're opening up the top of your head to receive the energy of that star. Imagine that it's coming in like a river of fuel, coming into the body, weaving itself into the spine, from the skull all the way down to the coccyx, weaving itself through all of the neurons of your body, from the webbing out from your spine, down your legs, upward through the shoulders, down to the hands. Imagine that this beautiful, radiant light is glowing through your body. And imagine that you are also sending out a special request to your spirit helpers, whether they be higher self, superconscious, spirit guides, angels, guardians, and ask them to assist you in being clear about your intention, about being clear about your direction, about being clear about your focus, so that with each moment in everyday waking, breathing reality, you are making the decisions that are supporting your greatest outcomes, helping to make the decisions that lead you upon the path to your becoming. Let your body be filled, let your mind be filled, let your nervous system be filled with a higher level of awareness, the kind of awareness that transcends all earthly problems, the kind of awareness that is a higher level of thinking. It's seeing solutions from a different level than the problems exist. This is what we have available to us. This is the thing that we have been most hidden from, but not at this moment. Not at this moment. We are illuminated. We are shining brightly. We are allowing that illumination to circle, cycle, and penetrate every cell of the body, to move to our very marrow of our bones, to circulate in and through the brain, and in and through every organ of the body. This is our birthright, and we are awakening to this now. You can sense that as that beautiful starlight energy comes down into the heart center is most receptive to it. And it starts to radiate through the heart center and moving and circulating in and through the electromagnetic field that emanates from the heart center itself, all around the body. And then that beautiful light starts to radiate through the room that you're in, through your house, or home. far out as you would like to extend it, to allow it to radiate. You are starlight. Make the decision now to source from this beautiful star. These beautiful giants that sit in space, waiting for us to notice them. And they're ancient. These stars are ancient. Some of them have been around billions of years longer than our own sun. Source from that. Source from this deep, deep wisdom, this ancient wisdom. Allow it to find solutions to the problems that you face. Where do you source from? Whenever you are trying to solve any problem, whenever you're trying to muster the energy to accomplish something, remember where you are sourcing from. Where are you sourcing from? Are you sourcing from the past? Nah, you've unplugged from that. You're sourcing from ancient starlight. Maybe even your home, where your spirit was born billions of years ago.